Good morning everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Nelson. You're watching Nature Nell on this beautiful super Sunday morning. Thank you for stopping by. If you are new to my channel and you're stopping by for the first time, pause this video and go back to the past 2 to 3 videos because this is the haul from that crazy weekend, that birthday weekend over in Apopka, Florida that we had so much fun with our great friends over there with Melissa and Wendy and Terry, and I mean everybody was there. The whole gang was there. We did miss Laz. Unfortunately he didn't go this time, but we did have a great time all 3 days, and I can't wait to show you guys what I brought back home. I brought some beautiful gifts that were given to me for my birthday, plus I did a little bit of shopping. I didn't go crazy like last year. There's no space for it. Let's just say my next What's in Bloom is like mind-blowing as well, because this year, looking in my greenhouse, I'm so tempted to turn this camera around because there's so much, and I did a lot of arranging, so it looks really clean and neat like I like it, but that's for another day. So for now, let's go look at that beautiful haul that I want to share with you. So no more chatty, let's go. All right, so we're going to do things a little bit different this time. You know, I've been doing like the What's in Bloom and then do the haul in combination, but I know that some of you get confused, so today's only going to be the haul. There's no What's in Bloom. Even though you see a lot of blooms back there, those are orchids I already had. So what is in the forefront here and hanging here is pretty much the haul. So you know what? I'm going to start with the hanging ones. All right, so let's start with this one right here, which was from Krull-Smith. And you're getting it already blooming because when I bought it, it was only in bud. And Julian was walking with these. Julian is one of the staff members, and I would say one of Frank's right-hand man. He was walking with these to the showroom, and I was videotaping, and I had to stop and ask him, what do you have in your hands? And he says, something that you need in your collection. So before he took it to the showroom, I hand selected this one. It had a lot of spikes, and I was super happy. I told him I think this is the first time that I'm filming that I actually select something that's really cool, instead of waiting after I finish filming to start looking for stuff. Now, I'm hoping that the dog next door, he's been very quiet, but when he heard me do the intro, he started barking. So I'm hoping it's just momentary, because he will go on and on and on and on. So anyways, I ended up with this one, and it has, I think it has 2, right? Yeah, it has 2, I wouldn't call these vandas. What are these? Escocentrum? Yeah, Escocentrum. So anyway, this was one of my little prized possessions. I was very happy to get it. It was already in its basket, easy plug and play like I like. Now I'm gonna move this here, even though I have the garage door closed, because this way you get more light. Because what I have here is a screen top, and then I have a plastic covering. So that way it protects from the rain, but it gives enough light to keep some of my orchids in here, especially the ones that are light sensitive. Now this came from Conjaran Green, and Suwat was so kind to write here. Oh, that's the cross, little Coil. Aplandii Conjaran, and that is the actual flower. Look how beautiful that is. Very cool flower. So I can't wait to watch this one bloom. And so it didn't come like this. Of course, it came in one of these, which was in a little tiny pot, as you can see the bottom. And what I did was I mixed my own medium of just charcoal and lava. I'm making it simple now, guys, because I've noticed that some of the pro growers out there in Asia, they use barely any like mixes. They sometimes even grow just in charcoal, and they have beautiful specimens. So that's what I'm doing. Normally, I don't repot right when I get home, but these were bare rooted, so they needed to be repotted, or should I say potted, because they weren't potted. Now this one is from Krull-Smith. It's a Walkerana, varied Cerulean Apopka. Now the flower did die. I believe that I recorded the flower. I'll inset it in there if I did record it. But it was the very first orchid I picked in the showroom. And I think this is the only one they had like this. And it smelled so strong. It has such a beautiful fragrance that I was like, you know what? Take it, even though you don't want small plants. But this one had a very big flower for a small plant. All right, guys, I'll have to cut it here and come back. So anyways, this one I was saying that I got at the showroom, it was the first one I picked, and the flower had a punch of a fragrance. It smelled so good that I just decided to make this my first choice, believe it or not, after saying that I wasn't going to get anything small. Now next to it is another one I said I wasn't going to get any more of, and I said I wasn't going to get any more Vandas, but this is self-explanatory. You guys understand, right? There's no way I could have left this behind. As soon as I picked this up, I kid you not, I'm sure the viewers that were there with me are probably watching this right now. It turned into a shark frenzy. There were several viewers there that I was talking to, and when they saw this in my hand, they're like, oh, we want one. But here's the interesting part. They were all different. They kind of looked alike, but they were all different because they're seedlings. So they vary in shape, size, and color and pattern. So this one was pretty much the biggest flower. I'll give you an example of the size of the flower. All the other ones were a little bit smaller, but this one, I just loved the ombre effect. And this one's called Hira Cross with Luzonica. And this was $45 at Croll-Smith. And the thing is that I turned around and all of a sudden they were all gone. And then just like that, they replenished it with more. So, you know, that's a great thing about Croll-Smith. They usually have more on the back. So if you see something run out, ask, because they may have more in the back. And sometimes you'll get lucky and they'll have something even better than what they first put out, which has happened to me. Now up here, I got this at none other than Orchids In Bloom. You know what? I'm going to take it down here so I can show you guys, just for viewing purposes. I'll put it here on this basket. I bought this free rooted. This is the brown splash. It's just starting to open. I did get it with buds, not with blooming flowers, because they had a lot over there with blooming flowers. But you know, I excuse me, I have the patience to wait, and it gives time enough to start showing you guys the blooms. Because if I buy them all in blooms, I don't know how long they've been in those blooms, right? So for me, it's sort of a race to get you the haul in order for you to see what the flower looks like before it dies off. Now, I have been recording for my What's in Bloom a lot of what's blooming, because some of them, like the bulbul films, only last a week blooming. And so if I don't do that, you're not going to see it. You're not going to get to see it. And some of them are just spectacular. But this one, Pam has so many of these. So if you guys want a brown splash, reach out to Pam, and they're free rooted. So I just took a piece of cedar wood and mounted it with some Spanish moss, and look how pretty. And it seems to be happy there. Which I'm so glad I'm doing this haul, because I'm dying to put them in their space. I have everything crowded in here. All right, I think we got done with all the ones that are hanging. So let's go now to the ones that I've potted. Now, this one here is from Crollmith. This is the chocolate drop. Now, I had this one before, many, many years ago. And I tell you, this plant got so beautiful. And I put it on a tree, and it took so well. It gave me beautiful, beautiful flowers, smelling great. And I think this was like right in the beginning when I started doing my channel. And just like that, I noticed it got a virus. And I was like, I have nothing in my greenhouse that has a virus, at least that I know of. So I ended up speaking to Julian back then, and he told me, remember, you live in an area where a lot of people have orchids. So he says, sometimes in rare occasions, there may be a bug that pollinates a flower that already is carrying pollen with the virus. I didn't know that. Isn't that crazy? So I had to rip that beautiful 5-year-old orchid off my tree. And I just pray that that never happens again. So this one I'm not putting on a tree. I'm going to keep inside my greenhouse. Maybe I'll mount it. For now, it's going to be in that pot for at least 2 years. I will not touch this. It's and you always want to do, wherever the new growth is coming out, you want to always pot it flush to your pot and let all that space where the new growth is going to grow have room for the next year or two. Because if you put it right dead center, see how this was the actual, it was very, very clustered there, so I couldn't even remove it. I just placed it in there, and then I let the area where the new growth is coming out breathe. And that way it'll grow all in this area. It won't, if I would have put it on this side, this poor plant would have started growing outwards. So it wouldn't have lasted in that pot for too long. So that's just a tidbit for you when you're gonna repot. Make sure that you recognize where the front and the back is of the orchid, and that way you wanna give the front as much room as possible. Because I used to make that mistake. Now here, and I did get this from Croll-Smith. I don't know if I mentioned. This one I got from, where did I get this from? Wilson, was it? Yes. Wilson has great novelty phalaenopsis. This is a Jiffon Magic Angel. Now, it hasn't bloomed yet, but I'll show you a picture of it because I did take a picture of it over there when I bought it. And I literally just took it out of the plastic pot and put it in this cute little pot. This one doesn't even have a hole in it, but I keep control of the water here, which now I realize in spring, everything is starting to wilt a little bit because it's drying much faster. That means I have to start watering every day, not just every other day or every 2 days. Because here outside, the moss dries up in 1 day. It's incredible. Now this is also from Wilson, and I'm glad that, oh, by the way, this one is peloric, which means the labellum is mimicked by these two petals. So it looks like it has three labellums. This one's also from Wilson. My God, my hands are so dry. You know, when you guys work with lava rock, wear gloves. And I'm telling myself that same advice because it absorbs all the moisture out of your hands. Foul Zhang Min Anaconda, Wilson. And I love these anaconda type of phals because they have so much contrast and so much beauty in its color. Of course, you guys know about that combo that I like. So, you know, there's always room for one more cranberry and yellow. So I got those two from Wilson, which I was very happy with those because I always like to collect something from his booth because he does have really good stuff. Now this one had 3 flowers. One already died. I'm glad I'm catching it because it's about to die. Very redundant. But anyway, this one is, I believe, Melissa's favorite. It's Mayor Hamasaki something. Hold on. Ah, please don't die on me. Oh, it's because I have it on this. I don't even know why I have it on that. So that's that cross. And my God, does it smell delicious. I got this at Pam's and Orchids In Bloom. Such a cute little flower. Smells really, 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 really. It's like a sweet floral. And I was thinking, what if I get a bunch of these and make a cone? Because see, this is a mini cat and the leaves will stay small. Oh, you see this right here? Ha ha, caught you on time. I see little scales. I have to spray. As soon as I spray, they go away. I spray with Permatrol, and that stuff is great. But you know, things like this was very minor. I'll just spray with 7 for several days and it goes away. So you can, if it's something that light, because we've had a lot of wind, when we have a lot of winds, it brings those pests. you may want to spray with 7. Because I've been keeping an eye on everything because it's been pretty bad, this season with all the. Now, you guys, I'm sure you're looking in the background, so I might as well I was going to leave it for last, but it's so big. Yes, I did it. I actually got it. This is the Redland. Oh my God, something Redland. Don't tell me I lost. I don't think I ever got a tag for this. Well, I'll put it underneath. But the name Redland, stuck. Maybe it's because I put it in this pot. No, I lost the tag. I'll reach out to Pam. I got this at Pam's. Now, this was a hefty one. She only had 3. It's a very, very large sized Cattleya. The flowers are absolutely stunning. This, in a couple of years, would make a great, great piece for awarding. It is really a beautiful flower. Every single person there that crossed in front of this fell in love with it. And it's not only just a flower, it's how many buds it gives. It repeatedly blooms. So you're seeing this gorgeous flower bloom over and over and over again. So this is one of those orchids, rare orchids, that the flower lasts a long time. Like, these flowers been open now for almost 2 weeks. From when I bought it, these flowers were already open. So I don't even know how long they were open before that. But it was too stunning. And, I told Terry, I'm not here to take 1,000 orchids back home and do this major haul. I'm here to pick things that I don't have and things that I know that are going to set my collection at a higher standard by collecting things that are worthy. And not that they're not worthy. Let me rephrase that, because all orchids are worthy. Something that is worthy of an award that you can put out there. And not that I want to get into award winning, but just the satisfaction of having something like that. It's more of an award for your eyes. So when it blooms, you're satisfied by it. You don't, for me, it's the satisfaction of having the orchid with me, growing it and watching it bloom. Awarding is awesome. I think it's great. My friends, they all love to do it. I did it, but it's not something that for me, I care to be moving my orchids around. I mean, I wish I could do awarding right here in my house. I wouldn't have to move them. That's basically it. If I can do it like that, I would join them all, but I just don't like moving them around. They don't like it either. And excuse me, the pollen in the air this season is crazy. My throat starts locking up immediately. But anyways, we'll get through this. I had to get it. And yeah, the price, if you guys already saw the video at Orchids in Bloom, actually it's the second video. I remember it was shown in the vendor's video. You'll see that it was for $350. So there was 3. By the time I left, there was only 2 left because I took this one with me and I left the 2 over there. The girls were tempted to take it, but they asked Pam if there was any divisions or cuttings, and I think Pam said she would probably get them some the following week. But you know how that is. Here today, gone tomorrow. You don't know if it is going to be there or not. So I didn't waste time, and I said, no, this is a once in a lifetime. It's not once in a lifetime, but it's one of those rare chances you get to own something that's so difficult to find in nurseries in this size. So this was my token of the weekend as far as orchid shopping went. And then right on the bottom, it's already, the blooms have fallen. It already was blooming, and it did take a couple of shock from these bubble films are very sensitive to environment changes. It came from Apopka, but this was a birthday gift from Julian, and I would include Frank obviously and the crew, but Julian came straight at me at the Rare Plant Show when I was doing the preview and said, here, I have this for you. And this is the very first of its kind. He says, we haven't even put them on sale yet. We're about to put them up on our website, so if you guys want one, you can definitely get one now. I think it's already for sale. But it's unfair, you know, to show the blooms like this because they're already on their way out. But my God, this is such a cool bulbophyllum, falcatum alba. It's just very, very unique. And to know that this is the first of its kind. Like you're seeing it right here, the very first of its kind. It is so cool, you know, to be in a timeline that 50, 60, 70 years from now, when somebody has this in their home, in their nursery, they'll probably be looking at it and think, you know, this is the way I think, you know, I wonder when they crossed this, how it was, who did it. And we're living in that timeline where they created something new and it's super, super cool. And now my very first bulbophyllum from Krull-Smith, I believe I had just started the channel or I was about to. It was in Fairchild. And it was at a fair, and it was like tiny little piece. It was like half of this. And you guys got to see it now, my What's in Bloom, and it's in full on bloom. So thank you guys at Krull-Smith. Julian, this is super cool. I really, really like it. And to be able to share it with the viewers as a first time, you know, unveiling of this plant, I think it's absolutely awesome. All right, so back here, I just want to point out some gifts that my friends gave me for my birthday. This is the Watanabe, I think it's called. Watanabe. I kept on calling it Wannabe. Watanabe, Dendrobium nobile Watanabe. This was from my friend Melissa. Now, it's not in bloom now. I'll try to insert a photo of it, but the plant alone, it is so healthy. So guys, when you buy an orchid, you know, look at everything. Don't just look at the flower. Like if you were to give me this, I am appreciating already the orchid without the flower because I can see it's a really, really good orchid. So I could only imagine. Now, when she gave it to me, it was blooming, but the blooms were on the way out and it's a very beautiful flower. I definitely don't have that. This was a birthday gift. Now this was really filled with flowers, but at least I have one to show you guys. Imagine this. My God, look at my hands, how dry. Yeah, lava rock will do it. See, I've been using it a lot on all my mixes and I really like it, you know, but I have this thing where I work on command or on demand. So if I don't have the gloves with me, I just do it, you know, unless I'm working with chemicals and I'm way more careful. Now this was gorgeous. This is Camila's garden. And when they saw that it was my birthday, or heard that it was my birthday, they surprised me with this. And they saw me looking at it in their booth and I was like filming it and saying, wow, this is such a cool Dendrobium. I don't have this in my collection and blah, blah, blah. And I was saying this into the film and they were in the background and the daughter was listening and and she kept it in mind. And then when I was walking by again, she goes, come here, come here. And they gave me this as my birthday gift. It's really pretty. Now I'm looking for the tag. I don't think it has a tag. I'm gonna have to find the name, and if I don't find it, I am sorry guys. I don't have that name right now, but I have seen it enough in the shows that if I see it before I release this, I will put it underneath. If not, I will try to remember for next time. All right, and up here was a gift from Roxy. Now, this was one that I really wanted to own. This is called the Dragon Dendrobium. And what I love is that when it's, now they're pretty much all aged, so they're close to each other's color. But as they're opening, these colors are very muted. And so if you have a bunch of these, which someday I hope, you know, to get more and just put them all together. See how one is red and one is brown. They start differing in tones, so they look beautiful. It looks like all these different colored orchids within the same color spectrum, right? One is more muted, one is more saturated, one is more yellow, one is more red, one is more pink. So this is a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous Dendrobium, and I love it. And it just opened about 4 or 5 days ago. So it's on full bloom right now. When Roxy gave it, I think it only had one flower open. And there it is, a very healthy Dendrobium, which I have a love and hate relationship with Dendrobiums. You know, when they decide to drop their leaves, that's the hate part. They get so caney sometimes, but they still bloom beautiful flowers. The plant is not dead. They may look very leggy, but sometimes they bloom more like that than when they have leaves. Now, here was a gift from Terry. Teresita gifted me this for my birthday. This was from Exotics in Cactus. I think that's the name. It's the boys that I met at Tamiami this year, and now I'm starting to see them just like Plant Madness. I'm starting to see them more and more. And like Backyard Bloom said, these cactus are really in right now. It's like we say in Miami, they're on fire. This is fire right now. So for you guys who are curious about cactus, the shows are now carrying a lot more, and that's my little gift from Gabriela from Koki Moss. I thought it was so cute, such a tiny little creature under such a big palm tree like cactus. So Terry gifted me this. Thank you, Terry. I love this. She's like, do you like it? She kept on prying, like, but do you like it? And I'm talking to the gentleman, and I'm like, she's really insisting on me telling her. I go, yeah. She goes, but do you really like it? And I'm like, I really like it. And she goes, okay, good. Happy birthday. She was waiting for me to say that. She didn't just want to like get anything, but I do love it. It's such a perfect addition to my new cacti collection. And I'm loving the way everything is working like a landscape or a cityscape, a building, but it's cactus. And I'll show you some things that I picked up along the way. This was a gift from Julian as well when I went to Apopka. He said he got some of these for himself. And because he's seen I'm collecting these, he goes, I know you don't have this. This is such a cool... Now, I don't remember the name. I'm going to ask him and I'll put it underneath. But I'll put insets there. It looks like a Mickey Mouse almost when it starts growing different cactus balls. I guess that's what you would call them. And they climb on top of each other and they release a really cool flower. So I'm loving these little tiny cactus. They're easy to carry and they're easy to place. So I've been getting a little bit like Melissa at Home Depot. I got these at Home Depot. Now this one I just got recently. It's called a split rock cactus or split rock succulent. That's what it is, because it's not really a cactus, but it's a very cool looking little succulent, and it does look like rocks that have been split in half. Super cool texture as well with all those freckles. So, you know, there could be appreciation to that, just like this one. I mean, look at those purple spikes or needles. Aren't those cool? Like a green cactus with purple spikes. It doesn't even look real. And then this one is just so traditionally beautiful. And I love when they start coming out of the pots like that. Now this also comes, part of the haul. This comes from the same guys, Exotics in Cactus. I hope I'm saying that right. And he convinced me on this one because it was such a cool looking cactus. He says, notice that this is the mother, right? And these are all the babies growing out of the mother. He had one over there that was really stacked. He goes, you can divide, pop those out and divide them and make more of this cactus. And it's a blooming cactus. It shoots a lot of flowers. And again, I'm so happy that I'm able to capture these because it had two big ones on top and it started dying like 2 days ago. And I was like, oh no, I won't be able to get it. I just noticed here in the lens, these little red balls. I wonder if that's more flowers. Yeah, it is. Look. Oh my God, it's got so many new flowers coming out. I didn't see that with the naked eye, but now in the lens, I can see it. You're so adorable. He did tell me it's a heavy bloomer. And I think he says it blooms all year round. It's not like a specific time of year. So yes, this one, oh my God, you guys. Let me see. No name. He told me the name 1,000 times, but you know me, Someday I'll get these right. Newman, if you know the name of that, send it to me. And that way, I need to start getting on my tagging. I have been very bad. But you guys seen the season has been extremely busy. All right, one more for the haul right here. I'm almost showing you what's in bloom. Look how floral it is. I'll give you a quick sneak peek. So if you're watching my haul, you're getting a sneak peek. And I have a lot of paths. Now this stole my heart. This was at Krull-Smith. And every time I see this Pacio Pedalum in a magazine, on TV, you see them a lot on TV when they're showing you exotic orchids, you know, on a documentary. They love to show this green one because you really see those gorgeous green stripes going out into the petal, but they kind of fade right before the petal ends. Like, it's so beautiful. And then when you look deep inside, it has all that shine that I'm sure is very appealing to a bug. So I said, I think it's time to own one. And look at that stem, how long it is. Let's not forget about the leaves. The leaves are really beautiful. That's another thing that appealed to me. It has a new growth. The leaves are just spectacular. Even when it's not blooming, it's going to be a beautiful plant. So now what I've learned here in my location is these type of leaves compared to these type of leaves are way more sensitive. So I know that once it stops blooming, I have to put them down here where it's not as intense, because I've had situations where I've lost. Like, see how well this one is adapting, but this one is still very firm compared to this. This is very flimsy. So these leaves tend to be way more sensitive to the environment. So I try to figure it out. Now, my bulldogs never make it here and they have those type of leaves. So I'm praying that this one does not have the same situation, because I really love this flower. It's just superb. All right, guys, I think that ends. I don't want to forget anything. I'm trying to remember if there's anything. All right, guys, I had to come in the house because every time I get a gift or I buy something in my haul that I put inside my house, I always forget, because I'm doing the haul outside in the back. And you know, I don't want to be taking my things from inside and putting them in the back. But anyway, this here was from Blanca, from her candle, and I guess these are called diffusers, I think, or yeah, I think that's what they call these. But either way, it smells so good. This is the Orchid Garden one, and it is just so delicious. I told her it goes all the way down into, this is our master bathroom, and it goes all the way down into the master bedroom. But it is one delicious fragrance. I hadn't gotten one of these. I always get her candles. And she told me, you want an orchid, or do you want a candle for your birthday? Or do you want a diffuser? And I said, no, I want a diffuser, since it's the one thing I don't have. And there's her logo. It smells delicious. Now I want to get the other scents to see if she has like maybe bourbon or something like that, because I do get those in candle, or Palo Santo. So this was a birthday gift from her, and I love it. It is awesome. All right, guys, now I think I've covered it all. Well, you know what? Since we're out here, they found the name of this flower. Remember, this is what we always call Cher's dream. Well, guess what, guys? I found out this weekend at Flamingo Garden. I did not film. I decided to be a visitor for once. In 4 years, I have not done that to any of the places I visited. I'm always recording. And at this show, this Easter show, I went with Lewis, Terry, met up with Wendy over there, and we just had a great time being visitors of the park. and they had a show, an orchid show, and David entered it, a massive piece, as well as Wendy. She entered her display. Congratulations, Wendy, for winning. She won first place for her display, and it really was absolutely beautiful. He needed to find the authentic name, and they found it for him. I guess the AOS or the judges, somebody found it for him, and it's a very valuable Dendrobium. It has 2 cerulean crosses. I think it's the blue twinkle. I'm trying to figure it out from the top of my head, and a cerulean something. So anyways, it is actually a blue Dendrobium, or cross to blue, but it went to a pink color. And if you look at it, you can kind of see the cerulean there, if you guys know what I'm talking about. For those that know what cerulean is. It's a glow of a bluish over whatever color you're seeing. Lilac, pink, even red, sometimes purples. You see a blue hue. So that is the name I'm putting it underneath. That is the name David said they finally found the name. So it is official. And I think it won an award. I'm sorry, David, I don't remember. I remember seeing a ribbon. I think it was a white ribbon. I don't know. But I do remember seeing a ribbon under his masterpiece. And I think I did film it. Thing is, I was trying to be so like in the whole show that I just didn't want to be with a camera. So at the end of this, I will probably insert the photos of us at the park, so you get a feel of it, even though I didn't record. You know, these are gonna die soon, so here's a bonus for you guys that have stuck around this long. Angel trumpets. Now these angel trumpets, they change colors. They sometimes open all white, sometimes open all pink, sometimes they start yellow and finish pink. I got a whole bunch here because Lewis, my partner, did split, or he divided. Some of the plant was getting too big under the trees. And it turns out that where he put his, they're doing way better. Look at this. This is crazy how many trumpets it's giving. This is where his guava farm is, or guava crops. Back here, all this is guava. This is an avocado tree that we trimmed down, and this is a mammoth angel trumpet tree. Look how many trumpets this thing has given. And at nighttime, it is so fragrant. Now I know I'm gonna get comments on my thread. This poor plant has gotten the worst reputation, right? Because some people who like to experiment have used this plant as a hallucinogen. And so those people that have done that are willing to risk their lives and their bodies, you know, to test out something that has been talked about for many years. Now, this is just a plant like any other plant. For you guys that don't know, this plant is actually family to the tomato. The leaves and everything, it reacts, it feeds everything just like a tomato plant. When you feed this plant, you want to feed not just the roots, but the leaves, because they absorb. So this is very, very similar to the way tomatoes are. So they do consider it a cousin or a distant cousin of the tomato plant. Now, with that said, it is a beautiful flower. It smells delicious, and it's not poisonous. It's not going to kill you if you have it in your garden. Because I've had people tell me, you know, that plant is poisonous. It could kill your animals. No, it does not. If that was the case, a lot of people around this area would have dead animals everywhere, and they don't, because they grow very well here. Even at RF. RF has lots of animals, and they have one that's huge. And it blooms beautifully. All right, guys, I think I'm going to end it right here. If not, it turns into a what's in bloom. We're not going to do that. All right, so I'll turn this around. All right, everybody, we are finished with the haul. It was a wonderful little haul for you guys. Well, not really little, but compared to all the other hauls that I do in the past, that I've done in the past few years in Apopka, this is considered little. But honestly, I took things that I really liked. I didn't want to just take things out of impulse, because when you're out there, you want everything. Everything you look at is original, it's different, it's awesome, it's colorful. So you want to take everything that's in sight. So with years come experience, and with experience comes control and discipline. And so I held back, so did Terry, on getting too many orchids. So what I did get, I loved. And I'm gonna close this episode quickly because he's at it again. So anyways, guys, I haven't been posting ads on shows coming up because the busyness of doing these episodes, I haven't had really a time frame of when I'm doing them. So by the time I put them out, those events are gone. So I will get back on track once I catch up. I still have some episodes to put out, but I will alert you of any. It's starting to slow down now a little bit, and I am happy about that because it's a lot of shows every weekend. Now there is one coming up. I don't know if this is going to come out, but on the 28th of this month of April at Ophi's. So they are having a festival there. They're having their fest there. Their monthly fest is back on. So when there's not major events, then they start really doing these shows at their establishment. So that way we have a place to go during the down season. But don't know if this video is going to come out by the time the show is coming up because it's literally this weekend, and you know, we're not that far away from it. So anyways, I'm chatting too much. I'm just trying to think of anything else. Thank you to you guys who donated to my channel in the past few weeks. You guys have done beyond what I expected with your donations, and I thank you because it does help a lot when we go to these trips. These trips do cost us YouTubers, they do cost us all money. It comes out of pocket. So when you guys donate, you really are helping the channel. And I now may start doing a membership, which you pay a monthly membership, and I'm trying to figure this out. It's a contraption that you put on your body, and then when you're working, your hands free. So to me, it's more like a more in-depth of what I do on a daily basis. So you would be, as a member, you would be coming along with me on watering, on mixing my foods. So you really see how I grow my orchids. So I'm looking into that. YouTube just let me know that there is such a thing as a membership badge or something like that. Like I said, I'm so removed from the details of YouTubing that I find out later on that I had this function all along. So anyways, I think it's a great way to connect with you guys on another level, and for you guys to walk around with me when I'm doing my things on an everyday. I don't know how many videos I would put out a month, but pretty much, you know, just solid, unedited, just going around doing what I do, whether I'm cleaning my greenhouse, fixing things, watering, feeding, spraying for pesticides, all that stuff I will do with you as a member. And you'll have I hate the word VIP because it's not VIP but it's sort of like a perk for the members. All right, so with that said, I'm going to close the episode. I am Nelson. You've been watching Nature Now with Barky Dog next door. And remember to always keep it green. I will see you in the next show or in my next What's in Bloom. See you guys later.